quote, "We are no longer your monkeys." Yes, he said that. He told the West to get out of his country, get out of our mines, get away from our minerals. These are our minerals. The West shook its collective head and said, "We hear you. Yeah, we hear you." But they didn't leave. The Western powers stayed in his mines. He begged the United Nations for help on top of it. They ignored him. Then Congo went to the Soviet Union for help. And guess what? The moment that happened, the CIA swooped in and helped assassinate him, along with the Belgians who were occupying the mines in the Congo. They worked together and took him out. So see how this works? Then the United States installed a puppet government, and the rest is Congo history. I could go on in Egypt, and Somalia, and Sudan. We'd be here all day. So is it any surprise that unipolar order is crumbling? The bullies are getting bullied themselves? Africa is watching international support moving away from America to China and Russia, and they are making a decision. They want to keep their sovereignty. They want to keep their own minerals, their own resources. Now, that very same politician from Zambia says, "We're tired of being exploited." Akende Mamembe Chundama is her name. She says Africa has learned its lesson and is looking elsewhere for support.
Africa is a hub for natural resources. It has always been for the West. And now Africa has multiple options. Africa doesn't have to succumb to a bad deal that we get from the Western countries. Africa has choice now. We're moving to a multipolar world, and it's very clear that Africa now has many options. Cooperation with the West is not our only option. BRICS is opening doors for the African continent to say that even when it comes to financing, when it comes to infrastructure development, when it comes to a future for Africa, we've got different options today. So this doesn't sit well with the West.
But perhaps the biggest lightning bolt came from the country of Chile, which sits on a mountain of resources, particularly lithium, which is needed for just about every rechargeable battery-powered vehicle in the world and pretty much everything we're currently using in the year 2023 and beyond. Chile has the largest reserves of lithium in the world, and they've been exploited for years. Not anymore. The government announced the nationalization of their lithium production. They took control of it, and they took it out of the hands of Western governments that were looking to exploit it. The price of lithium then skyrocketed as a result. Chile is doing what Africa is doing. The tug of war between the East and the West is real. And it used to be just the United States dollar, so it was an easy pick. You just went along with the United States because there was no other player in town. Not anymore. Now there are multiple players and multiple choices. Chile's nationalization of the lithium market marks one of the biggest events in the deglobalization resource commodities wars since they were underway, because countries do not want to sell their natural minerals for low prices in exchange for American protection. Hey, we'll sell you our minerals for cheap, but you've got our back. Your weapons, right? That's what the United States does. We'll protect you with our weapons. Now countries have a choice. Stay with the people that assassinate their leaders, exploited their minerals, force them to use a US dollar to settle transactions, or the alternative. And right now they're choosing the alternative. So will they get screwed over again by the alternative? Well, time, of course, will be the ultimate truth teller in that. And we will see whether the alternative is any better than the Western governments that have exploited them for decades. So that's the news update part of the video. Now I want to tell you about today's sponsor, which is tied directly to the demand for lithium worldwide. And that company is Lithium One Metals. Now, as Chile nationalizes its lithium and takes control, North America right now is scrambling to produce their own lithium. And Lithium One Metals has a promising lithium project in Quebec, which is quickly becoming the #1 hub for lithium mining in North America. You see, the Biden administration passed something called the Inflation Reduction Act, which we all know was a joke, right? It doesn't actually decrease inflation at all, but what it does is actually carves out billions of dollars for green energy companies to install solar, batteries, charging stations, and all manner of green energy components. And it gives billions of dollars to companies that can build this green infrastructure in the United States and also Canada.
Canada's approach has been to work with friendly nations to develop supply chains. Of course, the U.S. is the leading partner. We're hearing now that the U.S. has actually been approaching Ontario mining companies to discuss a possible investment. Of course, they're anxious, the Americans, to secure supplies of crucial minerals such as lithium.
Yes, right now there is only one lithium mine in the United States. That's it. There's only one near-term lithium mine in Canada, featured on the news last month.
For now, preparations are underway. But this time next year, this site could be one of the only productive lithium mines in North America.
That's insane. And the company that I'm talking about is about to start drilling right there in Canada in these highly sought-after regions that she was just talking about. Lithium One Metals has a ticker symbol of LOMEF, and it's trading at a very cheap 34 cents a share right now. Now, over the past month